So this is a battery pack for the Wyze Cordless Vacuum S. Process should be the same for the regular cordless vacuum, but just so you know, this is the S model. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get a thin plastic tool like these kind of guitar pick looking things. You're not going to want to use anything metal because the batteries in here have open contacts and they can possibly injure you or electrocute you. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is, you see here, this kind of lower bit, you're going to pry into there and get it under the clips. And once you hear it pop, you're going to want to leave it in there. And the next step is to go around this edge, like the top edge, and kind of do the same process. This was much harder the first time I did it, but after I discovered that you have to go around this top edge, it was kind of easy. So you're going to want to, let's see if I can get this, go up there, and it's basically undone now. So just go around. There's nothing connected to this piece, so you can just have it like fly off and it does not matter. So now that piece is off. Yours is going to look a little bit different. This foam stuff kind of fell from the front when I was putting this back in. So then your next step is going to be removing this screen portion. So it's going to slide under this lip, this lip. And note, you don't have to remove this back panel. It doesn't really serve much of a purpose for this project. So you're going to want to get a tool kind of similar to this. Maybe, I wouldn't recommend using one of your little plastic things. You can also use like a credit card or a gift card, but if you have something like this, it's a bit thicker than a credit card, I would recommend. Now, I'm not sure, I actually use, like if you have like car interior trim tools or something along those lines. Make sure it's plastic though, because if it's metal, it can short stuff out and you won't have a very good time. So this is you're gonna want to put this kind of behind this connector, and at the same time kind of make sure this lip is over top of the display. It's a bit of a process, but so put one in there and then make sure that the lip, you want to make the lip go on top of this screen, and then you can push it out. So leave this lifted up and get your other tool and kind of push on this connector. I wouldn't try not to be too rough on this connector, but kind of gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, shoot, it just turned on. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Make sure it doesn't turn on because this doesn't seem right. It seems a little dangerous. So you're just gonna keep wanting to push on that connector and trying to get it underneath of that plastic lip. Sorry about this taking a second. This isn't something that's meant to be done. Wyze doesn't like you doing this. And still, the goal is to get it underneath of this lip. That might help. I just did this. I don't know why it's harder this time. Oh, I think we got it. My hands are a bit slippery. The batteries in here are kind of enclosed in their own little shell, so it's not a huge fear. But I would still be careful about trying to puncture them. But like putting plastic in isn't going to do anything to harm the batteries. And by the way, you can get these things from ifixit.com. They're a pretty good website for a lot of guides and parts and anything you need to fix your own stuff. I don't know why it's being so hard to come out this time. It's much easier. Let me just take this out real quick. I lied. You probably do actually have to take this out. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, you do. Sorry about that. And that gives you more access to this connector. And from here is easier to just slide it out. Yep. And from here you just have to slide it out. Now it's not going to be smooth because of how it is put together, but there we go. It goes out. And then eventually you can pull on it here. And then eventually, ta-da! Here's your battery pack. Now be careful touching these. This is where the batteries are connected, and there's about 20 volts going through here. And one thing is you want to be careful of this little piece. This is what pushes down on the button. And to be honest, I don't know where it comes from. So, yeah. So that's how you take this apart. And then putting it back together is just sliding this back in, making sure that these foam bits, there's not one piece when you take it apart, but whatever. Still protect the same parts, and there you go. Thank you.